I was covering the night shift at St. Mercy Hospital when a patient called my name from room 304. The problem was, room 304 had been empty for 3 years. My name is Daniel Mercer. I had worked nights at St. Mercy for 6 months because nobody else wanted them. After midnight, the third floor felt completely different. The lights were dimmed. The hallways went silent. Even the machines seemed louder. At 2:17 a.m., the call light for room 304 turned on. I stared at the panel. I assumed it was a wiring fault. That room had been locked since before I started. I had asked about it once, but a senior nurse just said, "Maintenance issue." Then changed the subject. The light switched off. Then came back on. I grabbed my flashlight and walked down the hall. Room 304 was at the far end. The door was shut. The window was dark. I tried the handle. Unlocked. Inside, the bed was made. No monitors were running. Dust covered the windowsill. Then I heard a voice from the bathroom. "Daniel?" I froze. "Who's there?" A weak male voice answered. "Can you help me back to bed?" I pushed the bathroom door open. An elderly man stood inside in a faded hospital gown. He was pale and holding the sink like he could barely stand. "What's your name?" "Walter Haines." I helped him toward the bed. His skin was freezing. I reached for the wall phone. Walter grabbed my wrist. "Don't call them." Around his wrist was an old patient bracelet. Walter Haines. Room 304. Then I saw the date. 3 years earlier. I pulled away and returned to the nurse's station. I searched his name in the system. Nothing current. Then I checked archived records. Walter Haines had been admitted 3 years ago after a stroke. Room 304. He died 2 days later. At 2:21 a.m. I looked at the clock. 2:20. There was one more thing in Walter's file. A note I almost missed. The nurse assigned to him that night had written that Walter kept insisting someone was standing in his bathroom. Someone wearing hospital scrubs. At the time, they assumed the stroke had made him confused. Now I wasn't so sure. Behind me, the call light for room 304 came on again. Margaret, one of the senior nurses, saw my face. "What did you do?" I told her I had gone inside. She went pale and grabbed the master keys. We walked back together. The door was locked. Margaret opened it. Empty. The bed was perfectly made. No patient. Nothing in the bathroom. Then Margaret told me the truth. Walter had died alone during a chaotic night shift. His call button had malfunctioned. According to the incident report, he had tried calling for help before collapsing in the bathroom. Afterward, the call light started turning on by itself. Staff heard someone asking for help. One nurse claimed she saw Walter in the bathroom. Room 304 was eventually taken out of service. What happens if someone answers him? I asked. Margaret said nothing. At 2:21, the lights flickered. From inside the empty room came a man's scream. Not a whisper. A real scream. Then the bed alarm started. Margaret ran. I should have followed. Instead, I looked inside. Walter was lying on the floor, gasping for air. Blood was running from his nose. He reached toward me. "Please." I stepped forward. Then I saw someone standing in the bathroom doorway. It was me. Same scrubs. Same face. Only much older. The other version of me shook his head. Walter whispered. You answered. The door slammed shut. Everything went black. I woke up at the nurse's station with Margaret shaking me. She said I had collapsed in the hallway. Room 304 was locked. No one had gone inside. My phone read 2:22 a.m. The next morning, I resigned. A week later, Margaret called. Room 304's light had turned on again. But when she answered the intercom, nobody asked for Walter. A man whispered. Tell Daniel I'm still waiting. I never went back. But every year, on the night Walter Haines died, my phone rings at exactly 2:21 a.m. There is never a number. And I never answer.